Welcome to the Sunday night talk. And before I start, events coming up. There's an event in London on the 14th and 15th of April. And hi, Stephen. And my last Discord chat. Hi, Pastor. Hi, Paul. My last Discord chat is this Wednesday for a month. And I'm not giving any talks now until, let me just open my calendar. Until the 8th of April, because I'm not back until the 1st. So I'm going to be away for a month for the whole of March, and I'm arriving back on the 1st. So obviously I won't be here that day. And this is the first time I'm having a break from speaking for over 2 years. It's been, 120 videos today. So it'd be good to have a break from actually everything. I'm just having a complete holiday. What else? If you'd like to join the Wednesday night talks, you can subscribe to that on my Patreon. And on my website, there's also my book. And I didn't get my book finished because we realized we were rushing it. So we're not going to rush the end of it. So we'll finish it when I get back. And and thank you for those who donated. If you'd like to donate, I'd be really grateful for that. Even if it's just a couple of pounds towards this video, it really helps me out. And I'm saving up for a new computer to do this. So I'm going to try and get funds for that, because this computer is a bit of a grandma now. And if you feel lazy and you can't be bothered to subscribe every week, to donate every week, you can subscribe on my Patreon account. You can subscribe like £1 a month or £2 a month, or if you want to do the Discord, it's $10 a month. I think that's it. So hi Joe, hi Donnie, hi CDD. How do you do? No, you lol. Deal with criticism. Deal with criticism. Hey CDD, last week you said Lee Mullins, and I went, oh no, I don't know who that is. Of course I know who that is. I've spoken to him a few times. Yeah, Lee's great. Actually, Lee's great. Hi Will. Okay, so I have something different to say. Well, not that much different, actually. But so there's this aliveness. There's this one field of energy which is nothing to speak of. It just arises as everything. It arises as everything. It arises as everything, the human, the light, the air. And it includes this sense of being somebody. It includes that. The sense of being somebody is the aliveness, is this life, this apparent life that is here, which is miraculous that it's here at all. But obviously it's missed by the looking for it. And in the last couple of weeks, I've been really examining what this sense of separation is. What is it within the appearance? Because, we talk about it all the time, and we call it energetic contraction, and we call it separation, and all these things. And all these things seem to sound kind of a little bit mysterious in a way. We're looking for this mysterious thing called me, when really it's not a mystery. And I've been looking at it by trying to remember, what it was that was feeling separate, what that was. And when I look back, when I look at that sense of a person that seemed to be here, which wasn't a person at all, I look at it and all I see, all I remember it as, is a kind of a condition, a kind of a state that obviously appeared out of nothing, and it is nothing appearing as somebody, but it's not actually a separate person at all. It's a state, it's a condition, and the contracted sense is almost like a conditioned response to the belief of separate self. It starts as it seems to start as a condition in the brain. It seems to be that way. Obviously, I'm just using words, and no words are absolute, but I'm just reflecting on this. And it seems to start as a belief, or as this belief I am, and that becomes a reality. The sense, the belief I am becomes the absolute reality that I am a person. And that seems to get impounded over time and becomes this absolute reality called me. But looking at it, it seems like it's more of like a psychological condition, a condition that only the human seems to have. The other animals don't seem to have it because they don't have this complex brain that we have, and this complex society and interaction and everything that goes with that. So really, we're looking at the end of a state, a deep-seated condition which is believed to be somebody, and it's just a belief, really. It's not a person at all. We're waiting for this me to die, as if it really is somebody. But it's not. It's the end of a state, the state of being somebody. And when that state is no longer there, there's nothing left. There's all that's left is what is happening. And that can't be described because it's what is happening. And any thought about that or sense of that or anything is also what's happening. There isn't anything separate here. Nothing can be separated out. The only thing that seems to be separate, which isn't separate at all, is the deep-seated sense of I am separate. It's a chat. Hi, Max. Hi, Frank. Hey, Keel. Hey, Kurt. Hi, Alexandra. Feels like a sickness and illness. Yeah, it just doesn't feel right, does it? So then the human starts seeking for a way out of that apparent condition called me. It looks for this, but you can't find this because this is a me too. This is the appearance of me as well as the desk and the air and the light. So it's this, looking for a way out of this, which is absurd, but understandable, and it is what it is. It's just, that's the way it operates. It operates from a sense of needing to escape that sense of separation, which is not separate at all. Because this life doesn't give a damn whether there is a human that feels separate or not, because it is the human that feels separate, and it is the human who is no longer having that apparent separation. Pastor, question. Oh, okay. The question: how do you deal with criticism? How do I personally deal with criticism? How does one deal with criticism? It depends on the character, I think. Some characters are more thin-skinned than others and don't deal with criticism very well. I don't know the answer to that. I think it's different for everybody. I think it depends. Me personally, I get criticized all the time, because when you're a public speaker, you get all the crap. Get all the down thumbs. Into the territory. So I'm open to questions. I'm not sure if anything I said made any sense at all. It's really hard to put something into words which has no words, because we can only communicate here in words, but behind the words there's something else happening. There's something else happening when the words are being spoken. There's that kind of flavor of freedom, the essence of freedom. I'm going to make this a bit bigger. Stephen, this artificial me has no body, no autonomy. It just arises, but this me claims a body. Yeah, it just claims this is my body. This is my body, and every thought it has and every feeling it has is mine. And then I have all these opinions about what feelings and thoughts I should or shouldn't have, and how they reflect on me as a person. And I'm going to strive to make myself a better person, and all that happens within one dream. One dream of me, my dream. And my dream is all about me. And that's all that dream is about. Joe, the downside of fame. Yeah, it's not even famous. And it's, it's just like such a niche thing, isn't it? This non-duality. And yeah, I get oh, Frank. Anything is possible. Does that mean the me can come back? Yeah, anything is possible. Anything is possible. I might wake up tomorrow and feel like an identified person again. Who knows? It's hard to imagine that. Hi, Jim. Because it's so clear here that appearance wasn't anybody. There isn't anybody. There isn't anybody. It's just bodies with all their characteristics and stuff like that. Yeah, I guess it's possible. Ewa. I guess, you know, the pain of the feeling of separation is an inkling there that there is this wonder. It looks for peace, it looks for freedom. The freedom is sensed, and the freedom it's sensing is this. This is the freedom. This is without boundaries. And it's no time, no place. This is timeless and spaceless and free of constraints. Constraints belong to the appearance of separation, to the dream of separation. Right, but if the me collapsed, how can it come back? I have no idea. I mean, it has seemed to happen to a couple of people. I mean, I asked a certain wonderful person if he would do a forward on my first book, and he said he couldn't because he did a forward on someone else's book where it seemed this sense of self seemed to drop away, and then it came back. So I only go from hearsay. I don't know. I can't imagine it because it's so clear that it never was a person. It was just a dream. His body was dreaming. It was a person. Amazing. Alexandra, how does the me need to tire of himself so much that it gives up? There isn't anything happening for any real reason. There's no need for anything. Someone who has never even heard of the me, separation, oneness, all that, can be walking down the road and it can just suddenly not be there anymore. There's no need for anything. Everything is already here. There's no need for anything. This is the end of needing anything. This is the end of needing to get somewhere. And everything is just here. Hi, Phyllis. Hi, Lee. Are you and me having different experiences? I have no idea. Apparently. So I hear, but I don't know anything about that, Lee. There is no you and there is no me. There's nothing happening. There's nothing happening. Hi, Tangerine. There's nothing happening, Lee. There's just sitting in a room, thinking about, are we having different experiences? Hi, other sun. There's just sitting here. There's just sounds arising. There's a screen. There's light. There's a body. There's thoughts. There's nothing else. And this is not moving towards anything. This is just spontaneously just bubbling out of nothing. It's just full on life. Beautiful. CDD. It would seem necessary to have reconditioned myself to get rid of the ingrained sense of separation, suddenly dropping Sudden dropping of that sense would seem easier, but there's nobody to do anything about it. The one that's wants to get rid of conditioning or get this or that is apparently living in that dream of wanting to do something and wanting to go somewhere. It's the end of all that. It can just suddenly go away. It can just suddenly not be there. Or in another way of putting it, it can suddenly be revealed as never being real. Just suddenly revealed. But not as a knowledge. It's just suddenly not there. And then it's clear it was never anything. It was never a person. Hi, SS. The mind always looks for problems or way to manipulate the person to think about the future. Why does it do that? Well, it lives in the dream of its own life. It lives in the dream of the future. This is my life. This is my past. This is my future. And I need to do something about that in order to get somewhere, in order to be a better person or a bigger person or whatever it wants. It's always striving for something for itself, but that's happening in its own dream. Alexandra, sometimes it seems me is not here, then sometimes it seems it is here. But in both cases, it seems that is a truth. In liberation, both those views are known to be illusory. Whatever is happening is all there is aliveness appearing as a person, the sense of a person being there and the sense of a person not being there. There's no reason for it. There's no reason for anything. There's no reason for this wall. This is one field. You said time is an illusion, but how do we know time is illusion? But how do we know time is an illusion, is all a dream? Okay, we'll find time. Can't find time. There's just no time. Where is it? Especially when there is a somewhat a strong sense of past and future. Yeah, well, the future is imagined, and the past didn't happen in time. It's an illusion of time. It's all always unfolding, but not going anywhere and not unfolding in time. There's no real way to say it in words, just descriptions. There's just this. There's just this. There's just this. The mind creates time. The mind fills in the gaps. What it sees as time, it fills in gaps. It puts, like when you go to sleep, you wake up, the mind has filled in the gap of time. I understand that is all now, but it seems like a force. I think that's what you're saying. I understand that all is now, but it seems like a force. This is beyond any understanding of now. What is now? Now is an idea. Now is a concept. There is no now. You can't, it's impossible to place. You can't place, there's no place for this. It's not in a place. This is beyond place. We put the mind of the person puts everything in place. This is in this country, on this planet, in this universe, and it's happening in this timeline, and this is the year, and then it's this year, and this year, and this year. It puts it all in place. But that idea of place is just an idea, which seems to be a reality for the me. See, there's just the wind howling. Alexandra, the body and mind seems to get lighter, less personal. It is really strange to have the impression to move on a path, while it is illusory. Could you please comment? Because that's the way aliveness appears. It appears to have this, it appears as apparent time, but it's not happening in time. Because no one's ever found time. No one's even ever found anything that isn't here. Because there isn't anything that isn't here. And as you said, it's the impression to move on a path, but you can never find that path. Path appears as imagined. It's all imagined. Anything that isn't happening here is imagined, and that's still aliveness happening as imagination. Stephen, where is now and where is here? There's no location. Where is it? No, there isn't any location. There's just what's happening. There's just sitting in a room, apparently happening, and it's constantly changing, but it's the same energy that's constantly reforming itself into everything. And that includes going out the door and walking out into the countryside, reforming itself constantly. Of the sun. Non-duality is a mind fuck, lol. Yeah, completely. The mind is just what's happening, but it hasn't got the capacity to get this, because you can't get this. There's nobody to get it, and there's nothing to get. That's why it can't get it. But even if my experience is an illusion, it's a damn good one. Yeah, well, why not? Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. This is amazing. It's kind of what the hell, really. The other sun. All the pain and suffering kind of just faded out. So I assume that no matter what, this dream is just going to keep going on. Well, all there is what's happening. And it doesn't, it just is. It just is. And isn't. Because it isn't anything that is solid. It's not anything which is, there's nothing here that can be held on to. You guys. Hey, Sana. Hi, Patry. Hi to you in London. Nice to finally get a live broadcast. Oh, thank you. The seeking energy is the freedom appearing as non-freedom. CDD, seems like my me has a fear of relaxing. Yeah, well, yeah, well, that sense of self lives in usually in a kind of a stress, because it's running around in its own little world. It's its world running around looking for the end or peace. Frank, did this one get a response already? Yes, yes. Yes, I did respond to that. Yeah, I do try to read every single question. It's rare I miss one. No, it's the disappearance of all objectivity. I don't know. It's just well, it's the disappearance of a sense of separation, and there's nothing left. Just what's happening. Nothing left. All the stories die. All the beliefs in past, present, all the kind of the idea of time being real, space being real, me being real, all that just completely goes away along with the sense of self. The whole thing just disappears. And sometimes even the sense of location. CDD. The energy contraction seems to be my identification. Yeah, the energy contraction is identification. Its baseline is identification. It's a misunderstood identity. And it becomes a state that that is in the human. It becomes a state. I'm a person. This is my identity. This is who I am. But it's all a figment. It's a complete figment of the imagination of the human. Lee, what do you mean you and me don't exist? Don't exist as people, Lee. Which are people. Alexandra, so is it always unexpected? Yeah. Totally. Andrea, it feels like I should have some control, but it's also clear that I don't, so weird. Yeah, well, the self lives in the illusion of its own will. It feels like it has some say over what's happening. It has all these stories about what I can do and what I should do and what I want to do and I should do it. It feels like it has power over that, but it hasn't got the power to turn the wall blue. It's white at the moment. It's very selective about what power it thinks it has. My will and choice is very selective. Alexandra, the problem for me is that either I'm distracted by thought or vigilant, and it is tiring, or I listen to this message and sometimes me disappear. So it seems that there is causality here. Problem is that I'm distracted by thought or vigilant, and it is tiring. Well, those things are the story of me. I'm distracted by thought. I am vigilant. You can't find any of it. Only as only in the imagination, which seems real. It seems so real that I am distracted. I am vigilant. It seems like a reality, but it's not. So it seems like there is causality here. You could say that causality started with anything, you know. It's like, it seems like there's causality. You could say causality started with some imagined scientific big bang, so which is the start of anything. This is just an unfolding. It appears like there seems to be causality, like if I drop this cup, it's probably going to fall to the floor. There are certain natural laws here, but for God knows what reason. This is amazing. It's amazing that we're looking for something else, but it can't be helped. It can't be helped. This all this self can do is look for something that isn't this, because this can't be it. I need to find an end to myself. That's what it's looking for. But it always looks for it in an object, in duality. Of the sun. I don't believe that the me never disappears. It just gets lighter. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Because I remember here, you know, there was this real sense of seeking, and then it would just go away. But it still was there, because the difference between it being there and not being there are like two worlds. It just goes into hibernation sometimes. Causality is a dream too, I think. Yeah, there is no causality. Causality, you have to imagine causality. I'd have to literally imagine dropping this cup would fall to the floor, and it probably would. But yeah, it's just another concept. Causality is a concept. Free will and choice is a concept, because you can't find any of them. Only as a concept. Lee, in what way are you not a person? In the way that there is nothing here that feels like she is a person with a separate identity, with a separate life, that needs to find anything, actually. There was something appearing here that called herself Lisa, and I'm a person, and I really want to be free, and this is my life, and I'm an insecure person, or I'm that person, I'm this. That's the end of that. It's the end of their feeling like there's a location. It's the end of everything for this apparent life called Lisa. Everything. The end of life and death. That's gone. There is no life and death. There is just this miracle. Dunny, I have a sense that I have to do something to get this. How to make the reality of the illusion sink in, lol. The I having to do something is completely it's completely dreamt up, Donnie. It's dreamt up and feels real. And that I have to get to this. Well, I is this. I is this. How can this get to this? It's already what is. It can't get anywhere. It's running around in the illusion of getting something when everything already is everything. There's already everything. You can't get everything when I am everything, as well as the plant and the wall. Stephen, can you say something about relationships between man and woman, where one is not and one is, this understanding? My girlfriend asked me if I can accept her as a person. Pardon my language, of course. I don't see why a relationship can't be just perfectly fine if you're into this message and she's not. As long as you, I guess, as long as you have lots in common and you love each other. Because she's not a person anyway, is she? She's just life. She's life. And she's life thinking she's a person. It doesn't matter if you love her. Hi, lovely. It's like asking me if I can have a relationship with my daughter if she still has an identification. Yeah, of course. Of course. I love that girl. I love her. Oh my God, I'd take all the bullets for her. Yes, and it's wonderful. Good, yeah. Yeah, oh, I mean, surely just, a relationship with someone is just about loving them, right? That's it. Frank, what is the beloved? What is the beloved? It's the most beloved. It's everything. It's everything. It's like a field of alive intelligence just giving everything. It's just love, really. It's just love. Just love. Not human love. Though human love is it too. The human love is the beloved. Human hate is the beloved. The desk is the beloved. It's coffee is the beloved. The absolute, says Joe. Yeah, not even the absolute. Just absolute. Hi, Rubs. This is just absolutely exploding out of nothing, not even out of nothing. It is nothing exploding into this aliveness. And it's a wonder. It's the beloved. That's okay, lovely. Can I ask you about memories? How can we not claim it? It is a part of us recognizing our family going to work. Nothing wrong with memories. Nothing wrong with claiming it. But memories can be there without claiming it. Memories are just part of the human. That's the way the human is. We're extraordinary. The way we remember everything. Well, not everything, not in my case. The way that, we have these complex lives. But those complex lives are not happening to a person. They're just here, just happening. Just life appearing as that. There's memories here, but they don't belong to anybody. This body doesn't belong to anybody. This computer doesn't belong to anybody. The whole thing is just happening. Remembering every day of our childhood. I think I remember about 5 days of my childhood. That's just the human. That's the way the human is. Memories are just memories. The memories aren't happening to anybody anyway. There's just this appearance of being a person claiming that they're my memories. They're not my memories. Even me doesn't belong to me. Even me is not doing the me. Nobody's doing the me. Me is aliveness happening. Aliveness appearing as separation. The me can't even claim itself. I can imagine that, but it's just nothing can be claimed. This is too immediate for anything to claim anything. It's just, there's a memory appearing the next minute, and then it's making a cup of tea, and then it's looking at something, and then it's just a room. It's not even thinking about body. There's just room. There's just next, but it's not appearing as next. It's just morphing. For want of a better word. Aliveness, the same energy. Everything is the one energy, apparently morphing itself all the time into different appearances. It's incredible. The intelligence in that is just stupendous. Where's the blame? Where's the claim? Says Joe. Nowhere. Popping into apparent existence out of nowhere. Stephen, the me is very clever. It will use anything, including memories, to sustain its so-called existence. Yeah, it thinks it's life. It thinks it's life. It claims itself as being alive, and that it is life. It will do anything to sustain that apparent existence. Who has the survival instinct then? Hey, Sarah. The body does. The body does. No different from any living creature. All creatures have survival instinct. That's the way it happens. Survival instinct happens before any kind of question about it. If there's a fire, you're going to move away from it before you have the thought, who is running away. It'll just happen quickly, instantly. If there's any danger, There'll be an instant response to it. Nobody has it. There isn't anybody. We all want freedom. We're all looking for freedom, and we're looking in the words for the freedom. We're looking for the freedom. When the looking for is the freedom, the wanting of freedom is the freedom. The not being able to see that is the freedom, is freedom. Everything's freedom. This appearance doesn't give a shit about anything. Doesn't give a damn. There's really no reason for us even being here. There's no reason for this body sitting on a chair spouting words. Just what's happening. It's beautiful. It's the beauty of life. Beauty of life is everything. Frank, it's like the freedom from, but there's nothing to be free from. Yeah. It's freedom from looking for freedom, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The whole thing, the whole idea of it all just totally collapses. Which is beautiful. Lovely. Oh, thank you, lovely. Hard to get it. Impossible. Impossible. You can't get it. You can't get it. There's nothing to get. That's why. That's why you can't get it, because there's nothing to get. It's already got. It's already everything. I always felt human equals me, but it's a wonder, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah, no, human doesn't equal me. Me is imagined. Me is completely imagined. Imagined so radically that it feels real in its dream. TDD, freedom from the me, identification would be freedom for the me. Freedom from the me, identification would be freedom for the me. I don't understand what you mean, sorry. Identification would be freedom for the me? Oh, freedom from the, no, there's no freedom for me, because me doesn't exist. Me is not a person. Me is a dream. There's no freedom for anybody. There is only freedom, but it doesn't reside anywhere. When that sense of self stops being there, doesn't die, it doesn't, people say collapse, but these are just words, you can't really have the right words for it. When that's not there, yeah, there's a complete relaxation in the body. And from that point onwards, there's a lot more energy. And there is a wonder that can appear. But nothing is personal anymore. It's just part of what's going on. It's just that. It's just part of what's going on. And nothing's permanent. There's no state. There's no permanent state that the human is in anymore. But there can be an absolute wonder that arises, for sure. But it doesn't, it's like, so what? Doesn't matter. Eckhart Tolle used to say, allow everything to be as it is. Well, you'd have to imagine that. You'd have to take a massive mental leap to allow it. How can you allow something that already is? It doesn't need to be allowed. Who would allow it? It would just be a complete made-up story allowing. I'm going to allow the plant to be there. I'm allowing. It just doesn't. It's just another story. Sarah, I feel the need to have that energetic shift, that relaxation. My current state feels like it has some knots which I haven't let go. Yeah, it's the sense of self that wants to relax. But it never relaxes for long, does it? Not in that way. It doesn't have the energetic shift. It's the end of that. It's the end of the whole story, the whole shebang. Poof, gone. And the body becomes more relaxed, yeah, but it's not appreciated in the same way. It's just a kind of a side effect. Because the sense of self is a contracted stress. It's always stressing about itself. And in those stress stories, it makes the body stressed. So much stress in people because of these beliefs and ideas and this base belief, this base setting of I am a me. And from that comes all these stories and all this identification with everything. And yeah, that gives a lot of stress in the body. Doesn't mean the body can't relax anyway, even with a sense of self. But I need that energetic shift. I won't get it. The sense of self won't get that. It'll be the end of it. You don't need freedom. Don't need freedom for me, because me doesn't exist, it only appears. Yeah, well, one can't have freedom. There is only freedom. No one has freedom. There's only just what is. And that is beyond description. Besides saying, apparently it's a desk and a computer right now, and words on the screen, and sound. There is only that. That can't be seen, though, by a sense of self. This can't be. Stephen, life has the freedom to be anything. If it couldn't do that, it wouldn't be free. Exactly. Life is everything. Life is everything. There's nothing excluded. Excluding something would be conceptual. And that conceptual idea is still the freedom. Everything's the freedom. Look at yourself from age 3 to 21. Are you the same static person? No, they are different aspects of the same dream. Yes. Same thing with you from 10 minutes ago. You are not the same person. Well, there is no person. It's just a different appearance. It's different words. It's just, well, it's just what, it's just, you can't pin it down to anything. The dream only contracts itself to create the illusion of continuity for that dream character. Yes. Just dreams. Dreams of continuity. You can't find the continuity. You'd have to go into concept to find continuity. It's just not there. It's only there as concept. CDD, well, at least my imagination was good for something. It conjured up quite the me. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, time has flown. We'll miss you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was thinking of doing broadcast, but you know what? I'm not going to. I'm just going to have a holiday. And if I was going to do broadcast, I'd have to be finding internet and quiet, and it's just not going to happen. Alexandra, what is eternal? Eternal. Eternal. I love the word eternal, but I sometimes don't use it because it's like, it sounds like forever in time. And absolute is a better word. Timeless. Absolute. No time. This is apparently happening in no time. And nobody gets that because there isn't anybody. That's the baseline. There isn't anybody. There's just life appearing as somebody. But it's not a somebody, it's life. Ah, muchas gracias, Frank. Ah, yo también. Yeah. Okay, any last things before I go? Or are we done? So I will be away for a month and a bit. 4 weeks, 4 weeks. And I don't think I'll be answering messages very much and emails either. Yeah. Okay, thank you, everybody. Oh, thank you, Stephen. And all the guru business is a scam then. Yes and no. Yeah, okay. Okay, if you give me £1 million, I promise you enlightenment. Yeah, that's how ridiculous it is. Promise you enlightenment. Yeah, exactly, Sarah. Exactly. They promise you something. Promise you what? This? You've already got it. It's already here. Anyway, thank you guys, and have wonderful months. And I'll miss you all. And see you when I get back. Bye.